Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm going to be finishing up a layout that I started with Jennifer Edwardson on her Facebook page with her free Sunday Use Your Own Product sketch series. Okay, so today I thought I would start in a little bit of a different place with you and show you how I decide what to scrapbook next when I'm working on a project. So I know a lot of people are of the mindset that there is, they would prefer to just like scrapbook whatever inspires them that day, or, not put things in order. And that's great. There is absolutely no wrong way to scrapbook, but I just wanted to show you that I do mine a little bit differently. I like to have a project I'm working on because I find that keeps me motivated. I find if I leave it too open-ended, that just the way that my brain works, if I leave it too open-ended, I just don't ever go back to it. I just forget about it. I walk away from it. I go months and months without scrapbooking. Whereas if I have a project that I know I want to tackle and I want to finish, then I'm more likely to get working on it. So here is where I like to start. So this is my project of Quentin's first year, and I finished scrapbooking all of his March photos, and then I ended up, so I use, for his albums, I use these Close to My Heart legacy albums in sea glass so that they all look the same on the shelf, and at some point I'm going to go buy him a calyx shelf so that he can house them in a place where they're not going to get wrecked. Right now they're just on the shelving unit in their living room. And this is the March one. Now I did not fill an album with this because, as you can see, it starts on March 11th. The February didn't fill an album, so I like to get 20 pages in. So this one has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages. And so I need to get 11 more pages in here. So I have already been scrapping ahead to the end of his first year because I'm not that specific, but I want to send this album off. So right now I'm wanting to tackle the April photos from the earlier part of the month so that I can get 11 pages, like sheets. So that would be what, 18 layouts into here so that I can send it off. Okay, so then I just go through my earlier part of April and I pick photos that work with whatever sketch I'm working on. So today the sketch that I was working on was this Jennifer Edwardson sketch. So just let me move this out of the way because it's pretty bulky, as you all know. And so I was working with this Jennifer Edwardson sketch, went through my May photos and picked out 4 that fit. So I hope that helps you to understand kind of how I pick my photos when I'm working on a specific project. And from there, today, the day that I'm filming this, not the day that it's going to go up, but today was Sunday. And on Sundays, if Jennifer Edwardson is home, she does a free Use Your Own Product Sunday Live. And she gives us a sketch on Friday to prep our supplies and our photos. And then on Sunday, she comes on live with us and tells us like the measurements of the papers that she used. And she has a layout already created with this sketch. And then she creates another layout along with us and shows us how she does it differently. And her videos include like a little sales pitch for her store, of course, but I used to pay money to go to her in-person classes to use your own product, and I really enjoyed them. So every time I'm home on a Sunday and she's home on a Sunday, which isn't as often as I would maybe like, I do work Sundays. I'm gonna turn the light back because I moved it so you wouldn't get glare off of the page protectors. So I have been following along. She started this when we all started having to stay home because she, you know, missed teaching in person or whatever, and she says she's hoping to continue it. So this is the sketch she sent out Friday. This is the layout I started with her live this morning. I think next I'm going to put my title on. Oh, this is the collection I'm using. I don't have any idea what it's called. It was from a paper pad at one point. The edges are perforated. I vaguely remember tearing the paper pad apart because I wanted to split it up. There's some sports stuff in here. I can't remember what else was in here. And I also got rid of some of the sheets because I didn't care for them. And then it used to have a lot more like basic, like here's the scraps, like more basic papers, easier to use kind of patterns like plaid, dots, stripes, that sort of thing. But these are the full sheets that I have left. And today I pulled for my background, I used the Bo Bunny double dot cranberry double dot. So I think that's what I'm going to just do moving forward with this collection, is when I go to scrap with it, I'll pull some, you know, basics out and use those along with it. So cranberry double dot Bo Bunny cardstock for the background. And then I also had this tucked in with this collection. It was a border strip thing that I had found that I just needed to find a home for. It was from my baby supplies, baby boy supplies, and all that was left was these two squiggle strips, I guess, stickers. And so they're not the exact same green as what's in the collection, but I feel like they're close enough. And I'm also adding in a different red. So I feel like as long as there's some balance with the alternate colors, I feel like it still works. So this is bashed. I can throw that sticker sheet away. Does anybody else get as excited as I do when you finish something like that? I don't know why it's like, gives me a little bit of joy, but it does. Okay, so I feel like I'm missing something from this. It's probably stuck to the back of the paper. There we go. Okay. Now, I think the next thing I'm going to do is to pull this. I kind of created a title last night when I pulled out my photos for this, and I used my chipboard stickers that I had out that I had ran through Scrabble Word Finder, and one of the titles I had created was a whole bunch. Here I didn't have an E, so I created an E with a C. I think this A was a Q, and I just snipped the end off of it. And then I pulled some of the dots to use as embellishment as well. And I think I'm going to be able to use this one up. This is what will be left of it, I think, at the end. I'm hoping to be able to use some of this stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty solid use of that. And then I wanted like a smaller font because I wanted the title not to just be a whole bunch, but a whole bunch of trouble. Oops, I dropped one. Okay, and then, so I pulled this sticker foam thicker set, and it looks, this one deceived me when I cleaned out my thicker box because it looks like it's full, but it's actually two sheets of the navy thickers put together. And as you can see, there are no A's. There are no E's. Those are I think 8s cut in half. But I did have one E left when I created this title. There are no T's. This is number 1 with a bit of a Z on the end of it. So I decided when I went to build this part of the title, I'm like, this should also be in my Let's Use It Up thicker stash. So I added that to my Let's Use It Up stash. Okay, I have loved this font in the navy I'm going to keep looking for it. If I find it again, I am going to buy it. And actually, Jennifer just added a bunch of thickers to her site, and I was fussy cutting when she was showing them. Fussy cutting embellishments while she was doing her advertising part, so I might have missed it. I'm going to go back and look because I know she has sold this one before. Okay, I had to pause earlier because my son brought me a Timmy's. He's back on the good kid list. Okay, so let's get this title down. And I also pre-did my journaling, so that'll be nice and easy to get on here as well. So this layout is about when Quentin first started getting around on his own and causing trouble, because you know, babies are cool when they just stay in one spot all the time, and then and you're so excited, especially with that first one. You're like, yeah, let's learn how to walk, come on. And then they start walking and you're like, whoa, what happened to that easy little person that just like could walk out of the room for a minute? And yeah, he got very busy very fast. I think he was running almost as soon as he learned to balance enough to walk, and then he was climbing soon after that. Loves to climb, which is a bit scary. He's had quite a few bumps and bruises in the last couple of years from climbing, not unlike his father. We spent a lot of time in the emergency room with his dad when he was little, because he was very eager to do things and not super coordinated. So he was one of those kids that grew so fast that he didn't know his own like spatial awareness. And so like I remember his grade 1 teacher saying to me, like, have you ever noticed like how often he bumps into things or like bumps his head on things? I'm like, I have. And she's like, have you talked to a doctor about that? I'm like, yep, doctor says he's just growing so fast, he's just has trouble, his brain has trouble keeping up to where his spatial like where his body is in space. And she was like, okay. It's like, yep. Yeah, nothing serious, just a quickly growing boy. All right, now I will glue those down with some glue, but I'll do that off camera because nobody wants to watch that. It's super boring. And I already did a little extra today by showing you how I chose my photos. Now, she had in her sketch and on her layouts, she had cut apart cards and, or like, I don't know, journaling bits. So she had journaling bits and cut apart cards. Now this particular group of papers that I have didn't have any of that stuff, so I just made my own. I typed up the journaling first, and then I put it, I didn't use the font that I usually use. Interesting. Oh well. And then I created kind of my own journaling card. So this is washi tape. It is like a super teeny tiny skinny little washi. And when I first acquired these, like I got them from somebody who was getting rid of their scrapbooking stuff, I was like, do I keep these? I don't know. What would I use them for? I love them. I use them more than I probably use my bigger washi. And then this is the one I've been kind of working through. I tried to use this one on here first, but I didn't like the way it looked. So, but I did use it down across the bottom edge of the page. So this one's almost used up and I will be sad to see it go. So those are the two washis that I used for this layout. And the washi on here is more the color that's actually in the papers and not this color, but it won't actually be touching it like there, like as this is going to go in between. So not a whole lot of that's actually going to show anyways on the top. Okay, So I created a journaling block and a tag to go in the spot where she had her journaling cut apart cards. And then I will just adhere those down. I popped this up on some foam tape because this whole block in her layout, she popped this whole block up. Now she used like foam dots or whatever, but I just used a sheet of that fun foam that you get from, you can get it at Walmart. I get mine at Michael's. It's in like the kids craft area usually. Now this one has a naked tag hole, and I do not like a naked tag hole. So I'm going to choose a color. Maybe I'll use a little bit more of this one. Is this one too far off? No, I think it's close enough. And that one's almost used up too. I need some, oh, I didn't get another green. I'm good. I was gonna say I need some more green because the other green I have in there is almost used up as well, but nope, I've already been down that road. It looks like I have a brand new one. So I don't, where does everybody get their twine? I get mine from all kinds of places. As you can imagine, because I talk about it all the time. If I see it at a garage sale, I'll pick it up. I find that people like start scrapbooking and then decide that that's not their jam, or they buy all the stuff and then they decide that they don't have time for it or whatever, and then they get rid of it. So I've found a lot of goodies that way. Sometimes it's like really old stuff and I don't bother with it, but sometimes you find some gems, like the embroidery floss that I used on one of my layouts not too long ago from Making More Memories or whatever it was called. That garage sale was mostly really old stuff that I didn't buy, but the 10-cent embroidery floss was definitely a win. So I can usually find something I want to use. But I also buy twine from the Martha Stewart like party section at Michael's, because she often puts out twine with her party goodies, so I get it there. I've also gotten it at the dollar store. Which one did I get it from? Dollar Tree, I think, had some. Yeah. Okay, so also on her sketch was where did I put the sketch? Was a little bit up at the top here, like a little embellishment spot. And so I just punched a circle shape and a ticket shape out of some of the papers that I already had used, out of some scraps, so that I could carry that pattern through the layout, but and not change things up too much. I am going to adhere this right at the top, and this was just a 3-inch circle punch. And then this is a ticket punch from EK Success. If I can find that, I will link it below. I was always on the fence about having these giant circle punches because they take up so much space. And so I was like, do I really want that, taking up all that real estate in my craft room? And then I saw them at a garage sale, surprise, and they were only $2 each. So there was a 3 and a 3.5. I was like, for $2, I'm buying it. And I am in love with them. I can't believe how much use I have gotten out of those in the last 2 years that I've had them. I don't know what the holdup was. I should have bought them ages ago. They're awesome. Okay, so I'm losing my little dot thingies. Okay. I need my date stamp. Where did it go? Over here. Okay, so I should also probably tell you that instead of a black or a brown or something on this particular layout, I decided to actually pull colors from my distress inks to go with it because I couldn't decide what I wanted. I thought black was too harsh and gray didn't really work with the blue, and then I don't know, brown. There was some brown in this one. I don't know. anyway, I decided to just pull the colors. So I used chipped sapphire, ripe persimmon, and aged mahogany. And they seemed to go pretty well. So I'm going to stamp my date, which was April. It just says April 2019. So I'm just going to use this. Heidi Swap stamp has like a little heart in place of one of the numbers. And so I'm going to use that. April. Yep. Going blind, guys. It's scary. Now this paper has a little bit of like embossing on it, so I just want to make sure I'm not stamping on the shiny part because it won't stay. There we go. April 2019. There we go. I went onto her site to see if she had like a new date stamp, and she has one, but it's kind of weird. It's like a magnetic something. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it or not, but I really did love that one. She does a lot of like planner stuff, so I was hoping she would have a good one on there. Maybe she'll come out with one after, like in the new year when that one expires. Okay, now embellishing. So these stickers that I used to create my embellishments, they weren't from the collection. And as you can see, the red is a little bit different. But I feel like as long as I use the red a little bit around the layout and not just in the one spot, that it'll be okay. Because your eye just follows it around and it's not a big deal. Because it's not like it doesn't match, you know? Red goes with red. However, I might just do a little doodle around that one. So just to emphasize the ticket part, I'm going to doodle. Now I don't know if this is going to work because I might need a Sharpie. It has, like I said, that embossed bit, but maybe I can cover up some of the bottom stuff with that sticker. Might be okay. All right. So I was going to use this sticker that says Fearless. And I think that'll be okay. So now I have that red here, here, and here. And then while Jennifer was doing her, I think I mentioned this already, while she was doing her kind of advertising stuff, I cut out some of these bits from, which sheet did I use? It was this sheet, but it was a scrap of it. So I cut out like these vehicles. And then from the alphabet sheet, the one that I have scraps of, I punched out some of the ball elements. And I thought those would go well because he's playing, right? So it doesn't have to be like he's playing with a truck or, oh, I didn't want that color. It doesn't have to be like he's playing with a truck or he's playing with a ball. They're just toys. They represent play. And I think I'm going to pop that one up. It does suit his personality. He does love trucks, tractors, anything with wheels, basically. He gets really mad. Like last time they dropped me off at the airport, he was so mad that he couldn't come on the airplane. Like he totally thought that because we were all going together, he was getting a ride on the plane. Not impressed. So we're not telling him that his dad is coming out here and he can't come. He's coming for his brother's graduation. Yeah, anyway. Well, I don't know what to do about that one. Maybe I'll just move it down a little. It doesn't want to stick on top and I don't like it under. Okay, so we got a truck there. And that, I feel like this little car could go either way, so I'm going to put that one here because the other ones all are going in that direction. So I don't want them driving off the page. Is that silly? Maybe. I'm just going to pop it up with some foam. There we go. What else do we got? We got another truck that I think I'm just going to adhere down without foam. I really do need to just put my adhesive in the same spot every time I put it down because I feel like a dork every time I'm looking around for it and you guys are like, what's she doing? Such a weird girl. Okay. So I noticed the other day that one of our local scrapbook stores, who doesn't have a website, or I would link it below, she advertised some retreats coming up for the summer, which is super exciting. Things are starting to move forward around here. Love that. So I don't know if I'll get to go to any of them. I'm gonna have to, once my flights are booked, I'll have to decide if that works for me, or I mean, if there's even any spots left. I'm sure that a lot of people are pretty excited to do that. But I think a lot of people are camping too. I've heard that it's really hard to book a campsite around here. Okay, so we got some cars in each cluster. Let's put a ball in each cluster too. So do we want the big basketball there, soccer ball, and a baseball? Yeah, I think that'll work. And maybe for color wise, I want the heavier color down. Yeah, heavier color down below is gonna work. And these ones I actually didn't fussy cut, I just punched with my very old, very trusty Creative Memories circle punches. And this one left a halo and this one didn't, and that's totally fine with me. I just want the element, and it doesn't really matter. Nobody's gonna be looking at that, I don't think. Oops. He is playing in like a little mommy's group soccer thing this summer, so I'm excited to see him do that when I go out there in July. Should be so fun. Okay, so we did that. Now we have these little dots. Let's see, where should they go? And then I hope you guys can't hear my son watching TV. I can hear it, but I'm hoping the microphone doesn't pick it up. I guess we will find out when I watch back. He's just trying to chill out before he goes to work, I think. I think they're excited to be back to work. He works in the restaurant business, and the restaurant's just fully opened up this week here in our area. So he was working a little bit when things were takeout only, because he started working as a line cook, which he didn't do before. And but now that they're opened all the way, he's getting shifts as an expo as well as a line cook. So okay, so I think that's going to be my layout for today. This is the sketch that it came from. Thank you, Jennifer, for spending your time with us today. And I hope you will go and check out her site. She just posted a whole bunch of new items for sale in her site. If you love working with kits, that's the place to be. She creates these creative kits. They're plumb full of product. So check her out for sure. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please click that like button to give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for a couple of close-up shots and a few detail shots of my layout. And if you'd like to know more about the things we talked about, click that show more button under the video description to find links. If you are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you will know every time a new video goes up. Have a great day, everyone.